Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to, I guess, the first travel vlog we've done in a while. So the camera's gonna be shaky because I'm holding it with my hand, and if you've ever been to Vietnam, you know the roads are horrible. So we just got off the bus right back here. We're in Hanoi. I just got back to Hanoi. Went down to Da Nang to meet some friends. So I'm not gonna edit any of that out. I want you guys to understand how horrible Hanoi is. Speaking of how horrible Hanoi is, I thought I'd do a video, a quick one today. Try to be under 8 minutes, hopefully. Probably won't. What I think about living in Hanoi compared to living in Saigon. I've never really lived in Hanoi until this year, where I came out here. My goal is to stay for like 6 months so I could focus on work, because my mindset was, if I stay somewhere that's just really dirty, polluted, it's stressful, then I would be able to not go out, not worry about like the chaos, and just focus on work. And I've done pretty much that. I've been able to lose like, what now, like 7 or 8 kilograms. Like, I've lost a ton of weight. My finances are like way more than what I thought they would have been. We've hit every goal. The only goal that I'm missing this year is we're going to move to Panama starting next February. I don't know if that's going to happen yet, and it's not because of a financial thing. It's more of, I'm kind of thinking like the Philippines or Indonesia. You know, like, there's almost no traffic. They're just honking at like leaves. I don't know. So we're still here. So I want to talk about what I think about the difference of living in Saigon versus living in Hanoi. The first thing, what do I think about living in the two? When it comes to the cost of living, let's talk about that. The cost of living is about the same. I don't think I spent more or less here than I did in Saigon. I might have actually spent more in Saigon because there's a lot more Western stuff out there. Like, you have the dryers, you got more like electronics and stuff like that. Like, these guys fly. This is actually a government, like, national convention center. So you're not supposed to technically be driving on the sidewalk because the police could technically take your bike. But you'll see later on when we get up the road, there'll be police, and they're just sleeping to play on the phones. That's kind of another thing too. Police out here really don't do anything. If I was a police officer in Vietnam, especially Hanoi, I would be so rich so fast. All you gotta do is enforce the rules, guys. That's all you gotta do. Anyways, when it comes to the cost of living, I would say it's about the same to an extent. If you're looking for more of a Western life, definitely Saigon is a better spot to go, and that's where you'll spend more money. But if you want to spend 25, 30 million a month to get like a nice, like, these are kind of like Korean, Japanese style condos. If you want that, you can spend that. But if you want to get something cheap, you can do that too. So you definitely have that. Another big difference is in Saigon, everything's district based. District 1, District 2, District 5, District 7, Govop, yada yada yada. And Hanoi, everything is by a name, which sucks because I don't like to read any names in Vietnam. Number 2, let's talk about pollution for a minute. Pollution and driving and stuff like that, because that gets asked a lot. Let's switch hands. So when it comes to the air pollution, Hanoi hands down wins. This place is a shithole when it comes to like how dirty it is. Like, wherever you go, there's garbage. It's insane. Again, this is a very exclusive government building. I get they cleaned it up moments before, but it's definitely, the pollution's insane out here. I would say it is so self-inflicting. Like, if Hanoi people just picked up their trash, stopped throwing everything around, Hanoi would legit be one of the most beautiful cities in like Vietnam, next to Da Nang. Seriously, it's just that they keep destroying their own stuff. And in Saigon, you're kind of used to it. And it's also a lot more farmy, if that makes sense. Like in Hanoi, the major cities aren't really, like in Hanoi, most of it is actually major city. Where Saigon, you're gonna get up to like District 4, District 5, like Chinatown. District 12 is another good example, where it's more farm-based. It's more on the highway base, so it's definitely a little better. I'm using you guys to see behind me to make sure I don't get hit. But yeah, when it comes to pollution, definitely Hanoi wins hands down. The air pollution is so bad in Hanoi. When it is hot out here, man, you can't come outside. Like, you cannot breathe. And I see people, like the Vietnamese people, they're out here wearing like, somebody just fell, I think. They're wearing like 2 or 3 masks. Doesn't do anything. Like, one mask doesn't do anything. Like, I don't think Vietnamese understand that masks don't work like that. They're for medical use, so you don't spit in the dead body. It's not there to prevent pandemic and stuff that's already been proven. But yeah, pollution-wise, Hanoi, hands down. When it comes to the driving, the sidewalk driving is a lot less. If this was Saigon, like people like this guy, this would be way more prevalent out here in Saigon. And when it comes to Hanoi, it's not as bad, but it is bad. Like when there's a backup or a red light, everybody starts kind of merging on the sidewalk, but when they see the police, they kind of don't. Where in Saigon, nobody cares. Even the police do it out there. So there is that. Now, when it comes to actual workout here, this is what I get asked a lot. I've actually done a bunch of posts about like being black, being African, being Hispanic, being Asian, and coming out where to work. When it comes to actual like Africans, Filipinos, Spanish people, non-native speakers, Hanoi hands down is a better spot to go because they hire more out here. There's not, it's more of a Chinese culture out here, so they just want people to speak English. They don't care who. When you get down to the south, like central to south, Saigon and stuff like that, they're typically trying to learn like American, European, Canadian English. So they're gonna want, here we go, they're gonna want the white people. They're gonna want the Americans. But at the same time, if you are in Saigon and you're a black American and you do your application and say you're American, you will have a better chance of getting your job. This is something I did a comment about some time ago. If you put in your application, I'm African American, the companies, and I verified this through a lot of different schools out here, if they see African American, they assume you're African. You're from Africa. You're from a third world continent that doesn't speak English as a native language, so they're going to put you in that category. So if you are applying for work as a real African, Northern, Central, or South Africa, definitely North Vietnam is better. If you're from a Western nation, South Vietnam is definitely, it's a better spot because the pay's higher, but when you're up north, it's more competitive because you're competing with not only like native speakers, you're competing with like non-native speakers. So it's like a whole realm. And as of right now, 2024, I think it's like September, they're really going after hiring Africans, Northern African mostly, and Filipinos. So if you are American, if you are European, it's going to be a lot harder to actually get a job in the North area. So keep that in mind. Remember, English is no longer a mandated curriculum test anymore. So that means there's not money in for it. And when you hire a European or like an Australian person, the salary is typically a lot higher than if they hired an African or Filipino or what else is there? New Zealand? Well, that's a native, but you get the point. Anything else? So we covered, oh, we're hitting 8 minutes. We gotta cut this real soon. Food is definitely better up here. I don't like sweet stuff, and Saigon is a sweet food city. So up here is more herbs, more spices, but you also have like recycled gutter oils. You have recycled hot water. A lot of this stuff happens. You also have like tit choy, which is like dog. Eating dog in Vietnam is a real thing. Vietnamese wants to decline it and ignore it, but it is something that happens. See, we had a typhoon Yagi happened like 2 days ago, so things are still broken. But people do eat dog out here, so that's something you really see in the north or the south. They kind of hide it a little more. Here, like, it's just everywhere. Like, it's obvious. Like, they have dogs hanging everywhere. They have signs that say Thit Cho, which is just like dog meat. So there is that. So last thing, let's talk about the last thing. What is there to do around the major city? If you're in Saigon, you have Phan Thiet, you have Vung Tau, you have Can Tho, you have Dalat. These are kind of the main areas. You have Da Nang if you want to go a little more north past Phan Thiet, and you have Bui Net, obviously, right? When you're in Hanoi, you have a lot more. You have Hai Phong, you have Vinh City, you have Palam Bay, you have Hai Giang, you have Sapa, you have Lao Cai, which is a bordering city to China. So if you want to walk into China and hang out for the day, you can do that. You have a lot more you have more farmish type spots to visit out here, where in the south is more beach city narratives and cities in general. So you have a different dynamic. The final thing, if I had to start over, if I went back to like 2014, 2015, moved back here, where would have I started first? Would I have stayed with my original decision in Saigon, or would have I moved to Hanoi and then start my venture going down from the north instead of the south to the north? I think I would have stuck out what I thought. I think South Vietnam is definitely a better spot to live. There's actually police right here, I told you. And you're gonna see bikes driving on me now. But typically the South is better for, I guess for Westerners. See, you have more to do, it's more westernized, right? And when it comes to the North, it's more serious, it's more professional teachers. You have seasons, like it's raining right now, we had a typhoon just now. And there's not much to do, you know? Like really, I think the north is a little more boring. South, Bui Vinh and Saigon is one of the craziest party streets in all of Southeast Asia, like dead serious. So If I would do it again, no. I think I would have selected to live in South Vietnam first and made my way to the north and experienced it as a secondary, then moving to the, Jesus, look at this, guys. Then actually moving to, living in the north and moving to the south to experience that. So with that being said, I don't regret the directions I did. I would definitely say if you're coming here for the first time, South Vietnam is the first thing you should do because there's more tropical environments to explore and more original Vietnamese culture to explore. If you want more of the farm seasons and stuff like that, you're here for more work, you're more non-native in regards to English speaking and whatnot, North Vietnam is definitely a better way to go. But if I had to do it again, I would definitely have picked South Vietnam like I did originally, and I would not have changed this. This is definitely a cool spot to be in North Vietnam, but I would not want to be living here long term. So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. This is literally a freaking sidewalk in a park. Like, all the trees are like knocked down. This is crazy. But with that being said, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again.
Why are you watching these videos so late? If you were part of the members group, you would have got these videos weeks ago. Plus, you get early time to go through our Q&As that are only for members, and you can ask questions directly to me and other members that have went through what you're trying to figure out, be it for school, fitness, traveling, retirement, nothing but benefits, and at the cost of just half a beer. And if you're out here in Southeast Asia, the cost of just one beer itself. So join now, stop missing out. And if I haven't answered your question, if it's not in the Q&A in the member section, ask. I will personally answer your question through video or comment and replies to you directly. So you get the answers you need. So click that join button, start learning about travel hacks, how to work abroad, how to retire abroad, immigration questions, all of that stuff without having to filter through countless YouTube videos that you don't even know if are up to date anymore. So let's go. Click, click, click. I'll see you inside.